Hello everyone, here is a hard-hitting question of the day. Do you guys believe in being lactose intolerant? Because apparently I don't, even though I am. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today we are back with another mukbang. Woo! I'm already elbows deep into the mozzarella cheese. So I've created, listen, this is my whole idea. I have created a border of chicken, right? This is the border. And then the inside is going to be a swimming pool of mozzarella cheese. And then the pool floaties are gonna be nuclear noodles. Yeah, I'm gonna put nuclear noodles on top of this.
Whoa.
That's an entire bag of cheese.
No.
Here, if you want me to take some off, I will take some off.
No, it's fine.
There we go.
Here's the black bean nuclear
We
noodle.
have two different types of noodles. Do I just put it in a donut shape?
Donut, yeah, just
like
a pile?
Like a circle, like a pile? More stressful than I thought it would be.
Wow.
It's just in how many variations can I eat wings, nuclear noodles, and cheese? That's pretty much what I've made a career out of it. Am I ashamed? I mean, I don't know, but my parents are for sure. Okay. Before we get into this, listen, I just want to say, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm so freaking excited for fall. Fall is my favorite season of all time. There's just so many vibes. You guys know that spooky season is in fall. And I feel like I already have to mentally prep myself. I feel like I need to get into that mood of just cuddling on the couch at night, throwing something on the TV, and I'm so excited because today's video is in partnership with Hulu! Yeah! Fall hasn't officially started, like I said, but it's coming in a month. And I'm prepping for it. I have been getting just so cozy on the couch with my fiance. And you know how you've got dinner on the coffee table and you're so excited to eat something while you watch, but then it takes 2,986 years to pick something to watch, and by then either you ate all of your food or your food is cold now. Well, not anymore, because Hulu has so many crime stories that I have just been getting pulled into, literally sucked into them. For example, crime scenes. We think that we've all seen them. We're all obsessed with crime. We've heard of them. Crime scenes, ooh, we got it, buried under the house, at the bottom of the lake. What haven't we heard? But then sometimes on Hulu, there's one that's a little off the beaten path. The one that makes me sit on the couch and go, wait.
What? They found the body where?
Or you know when you're watching a crime show and you're getting confused, wait, did they do it? And my fiance knows that I am the queen of this. I will be sitting there oh, babe, they definitely did it. Are you kidding? Are you watching what I'm watching? I know 100% they did it.
2 seconds later.
I think that they probably did it. You don't think so?
2 seconds later.
Okay, you know how I thought that they did it? I think that they still did it, but do you think maybe I'm just supposed to think that they did it, but then they didn't actually do it? That is me on the couch, or those moments. These are my favorite moments when I watch Hulu crime, is they give me so much relief, is when you feel like the perpetrator has got this ironclad alibi, but you're sitting there oh my God, they totally did it though, they totally did it. And the police, they come through, they catch the suspect in a tiny little lie that the killer told in the first interrogation, and it's boom, we got him. So are you guys ready to stream some crime stories right now? Hulu, it's a crime not to watch.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
But thank you, Hulu, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get into it. I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm more excited for. I have mochi. This is my problem, is I keep getting stuff on the side. Today we're talking about the Backrooms. The Backrooms has always been a story that I never really touched on. Even though it's been highly requested, it's just always scared me a bit too much. I don't like the whole concept. I don't like the vibes. It's just too creepy. This side is mala. This side is red spicy Korean wings. So I'm gonna grab a mala wing. It's hot.
It's ready, huh?
Wow, do you see that?
Wow, that's very cool.
That is beautiful. Oh my God.
Is it good?
Crazy.
Oh.
It's so good. Wow. The chicken is so warm. The cheese makes it perfect. I want to rewrap it. It's that good. I bet the noodles are gonna be so good with the cheese. Okay, ready? Wow.
Oh, look at this.
Ah, look at you. Wait, should I turn up the heat a tiny bit?
Yeah.
Keep it melty. Holy cow, that is so much cheese.
Look at that cheesy noodle.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm trying the hot wing. Wow. Well, this one's really good. Before I get started, I bought this from a nearby store to this chicken spot, so I had to try it. These are Daifuku strawberry mochis. I'm gonna bring it, hold on.
That's the biggest
Mochi.
Daifuku mochi I've ever seen.
And it's so soft. And I think the strawberry is in there whole. It's like whipped cream and strawberry.
Whoa.
Hold on, let me take a bite of it.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I have an Oreo one. How do you stop by a store and just buy one flavor? That would be bad business, you know? Oh, do you see it? I don't even know what I'm doing. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's leaking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's a puddle. I'm a puddle. It's like, that's my food I like. You need to get this away from me because I'm not even gonna eat this. It's so good. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That was amazing. That was an experience. Let's talk about the Backrooms. It's one of those stories where every time I'm researching, I just feel like I gotta look over my shoulder. I had to be careful. It's such an eerie feeling. The whole vibe of the Backrooms, the one word that best describes it is unsettling. That's the best way. I don't know what else to say other than you will feel unsettled during the entirety of this video. And probably for a while afterwards. There is a place outside of reality. It's not necessarily a parallel universe. I mean, I guess you could call it that, but it is an intense place. You probably don't want to end up there. So you're like, okay, then don't go. But if you're not careful, it's a reality that you can slip into, or they call it no clip into it. Like no clipping.
What?
No clipping. No clipping is typically entering a different reality after you trip or have an accidental collision. So you know those movies where you accidentally fall and then you get up and you're like, ow, my elbow, and you look around and suddenly the reality is not what it used to be?
Do you know what phasing is?
Whoa.
No clip is essentially phasing, but they say no clip because games.
Listen, you guys don't understand. Living with someone who is like Gen Z, it's been life-changing. I thought I was Gen Z. I was like, I identify as Gen Z, even though I'm only like a year away from Gen Z. I identify as Gen Z because I feel Gen Z, you know? And then I lived with someone who's Gen Z, and I'm like, whoa.
Damn, I'm a baby boomer.
I'm like, welcome to the Backrooms. The place filled with yellow hallways, yellow rooms that are lined with yellow wallpaper, with yellow musty carpeting and yellow fluorescent lighting everywhere. It's not that cheery lemon sorbet yellow, it's that abandoned movie theater back room where the employees used to gather together in the 60s yellow. Like, they always look like the worst carpeted yellow room that you can imagine. You know, I think the pictures are so unsettling of the Backrooms because it's almost a sense of familiarity. You almost can understand having been in a room like this to some degree, and it's unsettling.
I hate yellow rooms.
Yeah, me too. I don't really like yellow rooms.
Why is that so bad?
Unless it's cheese. The exact definition of how do you make people feel depressed instantly when you walk in. It's dated. But not only that, there's no windows, there's no sunlight typically, it's just bleakness. The carpeting always gives off this musty, gross smell, and the wallpaper is peeling, and you'll be left wondering, who the hell even chose this wallpaper to begin with? Like, when was this even in style? This doesn't even make sense. There'll be random flickers of lights here and there because the lighting, it's like that god-awful office lighting where it's the size of a table on the ceiling, you know, those fluorescent school lights? It's so bad. And it makes those creepy humming noises and flickers here and there. Most of the times the rooms are empty. The hallways, the rooms are empty. But sometimes you'll walk into the room and there will be one awkwardly small chair and desk set up in the middle of the room. It almost looks proportionately small and weird by itself. Like no one, if they even had this room to themselves, no one would place the desk there. It just feels unsettling. I just don't know which one is creepier if I'm being honest. But that's kind of the vibe of the Backrooms. But also, side note, before people get mad at me, that's the most common Backrooms. There are other systems that if you find yourself in those, they look very different to the yellow Backrooms. So if you find yourself looking into a maze of yellow hallways, wandering around, you're on one system of the Backrooms, like a level, right? And just know that a lot of the times there's no getting out once you're in. And you'll probably get lost.
Then who's here to tell the story?
Me.
The Backrooms exist outside of reality. That means their laws, their physics, their space are completely different. And the Backrooms, I mean, they don't really follow a law or a guide. The rooms and the hallways can loop around. The hallways can twist and turn. They can even move to a new place. It's like Hogwarts, but abandoned 60s office hell. I don't know why I think it's like a Dell Computers abandoned office. Like think of it like that, like IBM abandoned office. And it's said that the Backrooms cover close to 600 million square miles. And that's just what we know of. There could be more. It's hard to even say that time works in the Backrooms. Does it even work the same? I don't know. Some people say that 2 seconds feels like 2 lifetimes. Some people say 2 lifetimes can go by in the blink of an eye. I don't know what's scarier, to be left there completely alone to die, or the fact that you're probably not alone in the Backrooms. Most likely, there are others in the Backrooms, whether they're lost like you, or maybe they're the ones that have always been there. And those are the ones that you have to look out for. It's just best that you avoid them altogether. The rule of thumb is, in the Backrooms, if you hear something, if you hear a noise that is not the buzzing of the fluorescent lights, then as quickly as possible, you should run the fucking other way. Because it could be coming for you, and we don't know what it is. So let's talk about the levels of the Backrooms. Some people stick to the fact that there are no levels, just the Backrooms. It's just like this massive entity. There's technically no levels. It's just like this boom thing, right? Each room is a different size. They're all in a maze. You don't even have a general starting point. So you could phase into a random point in the Backrooms and then you're just like there, right? There's no like, oh, enter here. It seems like everybody just randomly drops into it. Which, side note, imagine 600 square miles. I don't even know how to put that into terms that even my brain can understand. I think like even if you were to walk all day looking for someone, you might not even run into anyone. Even
You
if
say
there
it's
are,
a maze?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like there's no layout. There's not an open concept. Even if you walked miles every day, who knows where everyone is? And how do you yourself even know that you're not just walking in circles? Because like I said, the laws of physics don't work the same in the Backrooms. So the hallways could move, they could literally loop around. You would have no idea. You could be walking in circles the same 1 mile the whole time, thinking it's different things. Then you have some people that believe that there are 3 levels in the Backrooms. This is possibly the most widely accepted concept, that the Backrooms have 3 levels. So level 0 are your standard Backrooms. You got the mono yellow hallways, the mono yellow carpeting, the buzzing lights, the slightly different hallways. Honestly, it just seems very miserable, very unsettling. These are the wallpaper, the yellow, everything is fucking yellow. But it's technically the safest of the 3 levels. It's the level that most people enter into, and the one that they can most likely exit out of. So you're like, how can you exit? No one's really sure. But the word around the block is that if you see a darker wall in some of the rooms, they could be used as an exit point. But it's important to remember, you might just be exiting level 0. That doesn't necessarily mean that you will go back to the regular reality. You might exit into something worse, like level 1. So level 1 gets a lot more dangerous. It's a lot more hostile, dangerous overall. It has a much more industrial theme. You're gonna see a lot of exposed piping, concrete, metal. Instead of the buzzing from the fluorescent yellow lights, you're gonna hear the whirring of machinery, the constant rumbling, maybe steam coming out, creaking noises. Survivors reported that the only way to get out of level 1 is once you start accepting that the Backrooms have become your home. You have to stay calm.
Okay.
Accept the fate. That's the only way out. And then you have the last level, level 2. This is by far the most dangerous level, and it's honestly hard to get into. It's very hard to phase or no clip into level 2. Going there by choice is essentially ending your own life, because this level is just out to kill you. Those are the 3 level systems. And then you have the extended lore Backrooms, which takes the 3 level system and then creates hundreds of more levels, just hundreds and hundreds of levels.
Wait, I'm so confused. So how many levels is there?
Nobody really knows. That's the thing about the Backrooms. Nobody really knows. There's no concrete
So
answers
some people
to
say
anything.
3, some say there's hundreds.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people say there's 3, but then you have sub-levels. So like, level 0 has like 100 sub-levels, and then level 1 has 100 sub-levels, right? So everybody has a different way of categorizing these levels. But it is widely accepted that there's different almost themes to the Backrooms, because it's not always the mono yellow. It's not always just that. That's just the most widely known, right?
I see.
And I think that a lot of you guys have been requesting this video because a video came out January 7th of 2022, which was this found footage style short film posted on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Featuring the Backrooms. So this footage was filmed a while ago, I think like 1991, but it recently was posted on YouTube. And within months, it went viral, and it now has over 36 million views.
Jeez.
It's a 9-minute video that revolves around a cameraman named Kane, who's he's doing a film project with his friends. When all of a sudden, like one of his, I think like the director tried to like push him or something, he trips and falls and phases through the ground, like literally no clips, and ends up in the back rooms. So the guy wakes up in these yellow drenched hallways, and he's looking around like confused. What the hell? Where are my friends? But as he's wandering, trying to understand what the hell just happened to me, he starts getting a little bit disoriented by the piss yellow walls, and he sees something looking at him. No, maybe not looking at him, maybe stalking him. And you see Kane run through the back rooms trying to find an exit while basically being hunted by some sort of creature. There's almost like this howling coming from this animal, this creature, and it's really unsettling. And the end consists of the creature grabbing at Kane. We don't really know what happens, but we do see that the camera no clips back into our reality and lands in someone's backyard.
What? And the Kane never came back?
Well, okay, so this video goes viral, and then afterwards, the channel uploaded about 12 other videos. So some of them are like a minute long, others are like 10 minutes long, but if you were to organize all these little clips and try to connect them, you get their full story. This is their story of the Backrooms. They said that between the 70s and the 80s, the world's top scientists, they were panicked over rapid population growth. They said by the year 2022, the population would hit close to 8 billion, which is on track. And if it kept going, by 2050, the world's population would exceed 10 million people. And that's not good for the environment. The environment cannot handle it. The pollution, the resource usage, the water, oil, power, coal, these are all resources that are limited. So pollution is going to affect the quality of human life. The resource depletion is much more likely to trigger a world war and, cause an even bigger gap between the wealthy and the poor. So what do the scientists think is the best course of action? A research organization was formed utilizing some of the top minds in science at the time. Their goal was to come up with a solution. Sure, you could sterilize the humans, but think of the outrage. History has done that before, sterilized civilians. No, it had to be a bit more discreet, more technology focused. So they created another dimension to transfer humans into. It was called their Parallel Universe Expansion Plan. They said, if you think about it in today's day and age, it's not too far from what Elon Musk is trying to do with Mars. It's like our planet's dying, send people to Mars. Like, what's the big deal? Don't freak out. So the company, Async, they wanted to do another universe. And it was going to be on a different level from our existing Earth's surface. So it would overlap with the surface of our world. So we're not colonizing space and stuff. It's still Earth, right? Now, Async was successful. They created what we now call the Backrooms, but they called it the Complex. And they were so successful, in fact, that not only did it work, but they created a door called the Threshold. You don't have to no clip to get into the Backrooms. You can go through the door. But of course, you have to be, it's like high security, highly classified. So Async makes their research public, kind of, right? Because back in the day.
Async is a company that's legitimate, or?
You're like, are they public? Did they IPO?
Yeah, can we check out their...
Like, what do you think of the Backrooms so far?
I don't know. I mean, I've just seen the video. Sounds a little like an urban legend.
Okay.
I guess I need more legitimate proof to be convinced. But why is it so famous, though? There's got to be something that's making it so famous.
It's got to be real, Do you like mad scientist stuff?
I do. Those scientists who's making the rats glow changing animals' DNA.
Mm,
I think that's crazy. Like those actually freaks me out a little.
it freaks me out.
So basically, they say once you change one animal's DNA,
Yeah.
it impacts everything because it's like a chain reaction.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
This
Another
is a
one?
pancake.
What?
Yeah.
How many do you have? How many?
Oh my gosh, so good. Wow. I just pull out another one. Just kidding. No, the Async makes their research public. Well, kind of, okay? They just never mentioned the Backrooms. Instead, they eloquently, confusingly, scientifically said, hey everyone, we were able to develop a low proximity magnetic distortion system. We are finding a solution to current and future storage and residential needs while saving billions of dollars on property construction and management. So you're like, why did they make this public? Because this sounds so weird. This sounds like some evil scientist. Like, why are they telling the world? Because Async, they have been conducting tests which they were hoping to gather more funding. They wanted the US government to fund them, right? And by making it public, I don't know, it just like worked. They were funded. And the Backrooms were being created. The complex, as Async called it, appeared to be like a random maze-like structure. It was bigger than they were planning. It was 3 times the surface of the Earth. So while the scientists at the tech company, they saw this portal being created, they were entering for the first time ever, and as they went in through the portal, the threshold door was left open. And as luck would have it, as they were inside, a massive earthquake with a 6.9 magnitude hit California. The epicenter was so close to where Async's facility was located that people actually think that the creation of the Backrooms was what caused the earthquake because of the energy transfer. And then we find out that soon after the Backrooms were officially opened and Async was successful, people started going missing. Some people think, you know how when you look at the missing persons map in the United States, a lot of people speculate that it lines up with the cave systems in the United States.
Is it me or it's flashing?
The light is flashing because we're in the Backrooms. So it's a little bit different here.
This is so weird. Okay.
I know, I'm getting a little creeped out, okay? So the reported number of missing persons cases in general started going way up. It's implied that with the door to the Backrooms now open, all of the missing people had no clip and could not find their way out. But Async didn't seem that worried about the humans going missing. I mean, they were fascinated to find some of the dead bodies of the humans in the Backrooms because their process of decomposition was weird and unnatural. So some parts of these dead bodies would be filled with decomposition culture. Like they would be completely just putrefied with maggots everywhere, like disgusting. Like that's one part of the body, and then the other part of the body would be pristine as if this person had just been laying there or had been preserved in resin. So it's weird. But the temperature is the same. It's not like they had one hand in one room and then the other room was a different temperature. It just didn't make sense. Hence the laws of physics, and the world just doesn't work the same in the Backrooms. No, that's not what scared Async. Async was scared, or rather they were terrified of the creatures in the complex of the Backrooms. There were over 367 of them, and they were called bacteria. They're all numbered. So it's like bacteria 1 through bacteria, however so many there are, right? And each different level of the Backrooms, they have different types of bacteria or entities or whatever you want to call them. Some of them are not interested in humans. Others are very, very, very hungry for blood. So here are some of the descriptions for some of the bacteria. So let's call this one bacteria 10. Bacteria 10 is listed and displays extremely hostile behavior. It stalks humans for several minutes as they explore the complex. The stalking behavior may indicate some level of intelligence or at least some sophistication in hunting instincts. After some amount of time, when the bacteria deems the prey vulnerable enough, they will run towards the prey, emitting a low-pitched scream, like, I don't know, I just imagine it being like, okay, that's not scary. And it will sprint towards the human, and the bacteria will continue to run until 2 things have happened. The human has phased back to reality, or the human is dead. The bacteria has the ability to no-clip through the walls. Another creepy bacteria has the ability to adopt human voices and will lure humans to them by saying things like, "Hello? Can you hear me? Does anyone hear me?
That's creepy.
Yeah, I didn't really know where to put this, but you do have food in the back rooms. So it's not a place where you will just starve to death. You know, you're like, okay, you know what? The back rooms are hard, but like, we don't have universal health care. Women don't even have rights over their own bodies. You know what? Maybe I'll just stay here and starve to death. What could be worse? There's water and food in the back rooms. There's something called almond water, and it's really the only safe drinking water that you find in the back rooms. You can tell it's safe because it gives off this almost nutty vanilla scent. Kind of like almond milk, but way higher nutritional value.
Are they in a glass?
No, sometimes they're seeping off the walls.
What?
If you're in a really good level, they have water fountains made out of almond water. Sometimes they have like vending machines with almond water bottles.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, but a lot of the times...
But what money do you put in there to get the...
I don't think you have to pay.
Oh, it's a free vending machine. Nice.
Yeah, and they have this food. Apparently, it's really delicious. It's called Royal Rations, and it's like this white edible gelatin. It looks like a bar of soap, and everyone who has eaten it says it's the best thing that they have ever eaten in their freaking lives. They say it tastes different, low-key, like amazing. It's a feast for a god, they say. Eating any amount of this royal ration will give you the same nutrients as 3 proper meals. It's a highly dense caloric meal, and it will taste like your favorite foods. So you can solve all your hunger issues and survive longer in the dreadful back rooms. But some have reported because it tastes so good. Some people will eat and eat and eat and crave more. Even when they no-clip back to reality, they will want more. Some people almost want to go back so they can eat it again. Survivors have also taken footage of the back rooms, and weird things have happened. For example, footage will be dated for February 29th, 1990. But that year wouldn't be a leap year.
What?
So the day that they were in their back rooms, at least in our reality, the day didn't exist. So all of this survivor talk got me intrigued. Would we or wouldn't we survive the back rooms? So I'm going to go off the theory and the belief that there are thousands of levels in the back rooms, right? So with that being said, we've talked about some of the levels, and I want to talk about some of the more unique ones, the really odd ones. So level 5 is the hotel level. It's an infinite hotel complex that looks a bit haunted. Think about like your 1920s era hotels. All the furniture is very Art Deco. Somehow the dust always seems to clean itself. And in this massive hotel space, there's always this smooth jazz that plays quietly. It sounds like it's almost playing from the room next to you, like almost vintage, which just makes it a bit creepier. You might drive yourself crazy because you think that you hear people talking. You think that people are gathered in this hotel, so you rush into the room. And they said that in the ballroom, you hear these voices, but when you walk in, there's just some mahjong on the table.
Mahjong?
But they say don't try to play, because whoever you're playing against is not very nice.
Oh, it's my grandma, isn't it?
Okay, you don't have me snorting it up. Your parents watch these videos, you know what I mean?
So you're telling me some Chinese are running that level?
No, people say that sometimes you will feel a tap on your shoulder, and when you turn around, no one's there. Maybe you'll walk up to the wall and appreciate the antique furniture and the sconces, but the wallpaper seems to have faces that stare at you. You're like, okay, sounds like the perfect vacation, sign me up. My sister would be like, yeah, I'd take a haunted hotel over raising 2 kids under the age of 2 at the same time. Are you f***ing kidding me? Like, give me that hotel room for a night. So maybe you think you'll live in this level. I don't think I would survive. I'd be too creeped out. You know, because I've always wanted to do like a visiting a haunted hotel for a YouTube video. I get so anxious thinking about it, and every single time I'm like, it's okay, I'm gonna bring so many people with me. I'm literally gonna bring the whole gang. I'm gonna make my sister come. I'm gonna make Andrew come, Dan come, you know, Wei, Tiffany, and Paul. I was gonna make everybody come, but I still can't do it. I'm like, ghosts don't care if you come in groups. Maybe kidnappers do, but not them fucking ghosts. They don't care. They'll take you all. That is level 5. Then you enter level 6. It's called the lights out level. This becomes no longer fun. Very little is known about the actual structure of this level. Just know that you will be in total darkness and you have to get through this very tight maze. You can only stand one person at a time, and sometimes you have to pivot your body to navigate through this maze-like structural hallway behemoth. It's literally a labyrinth. The tight, narrow hallways seem endless. The only thing guiding you are your hands on the wall. But there's no distinctive markers on the hallways. It's smooth, like some sort of smooth concrete. You don't even know because you literally can't see even though it's right in front of your face. And unlike the other levels so far, this place is almost soundproof. You feel like you can't hear anything, not even your own, it's like just your breathing. You're in complete darkness, total silence, utter isolation. If you spend more than a few minutes in level 6, you'll start forming beads of sweat down your neck. The slight paranoia, and you keep looking behind you even though you turn your neck, but what, you still can't see. You start feeling dread and anxiety. You might start running and run straight into a wall and realize this is not productive. You start feeling anxiety and rising tension because you don't know if someone or something is in front of you, behind you. You don't know how you can even get out. Some people say that they started hallucinating, or maybe they weren't hallucinating, but they felt like they were the ones that couldn't see, but everyone could see them. They felt like they were being watched. You know that feeling when someone's staring at you? They felt it. Level 6 is often regarded as one of the most dangerous levels in the Backrooms. Very few will make it out of level 6. And side note, if you do somehow come across a light switch, it is heavily, heavily advised that you never turn it on.
Why?
I don't know. And a community of around 4 people have adapted to level 6's darkness without losing their minds. They have oddly been able to perfect their ability in mimicking any sound they hear perfectly. So sometimes if you go, hello, someone will say right back in the same voice, in the same tone, hello? They can mimic people's voices, anyone's voice. And it's said that you need to avoid these people at all cost. So I'm assuming these are people that got stuck on level 6, adapted to it, and decided to stay there forever. And if that wasn't already creepy enough, level 7 gets worse. Level 7 is an impossibly large ocean that seems to stretch indefinitely everywhere. And it's weird, because you know you're in a building, and you know you're in a room. Because when you look up, you see the concrete ceiling and the lights. But it's an ocean. And you start seeing the deep blue waters, and it's moving, and you start breathing a little bit faster, and you look at the sandy shore next to you, and there's some human skeletons, but also some giant... They look too big to be fish, but you've never seen bones like that. And the noise of the water splashing, and... the idea of being in the room and seeing the concrete... You're confused because at the end of the day, though, the ocean seems to go on forever like the real ocean, but then when you look up, there's a fucking ceiling and you don't understand, and you literally came in through a door, and this feels like your worst nightmare. It's not a fun, sunny ocean day. It's not 72 and sunny in San Diego. It's that unsettling feeling of being scared in the ocean. The majority of level 7, just like the real world's ocean, has not been explored. And it's said that this entire level is completely devoid of human life. But that doesn't mean that entities don't exist. There are lots of weird skeletons that most humans have reported that they do not understand. A lot of them are size of boats, maybe mega yachts. Then you have level 8, the cave system. Level 8 is made up of huge caverns and small cave systems that twist and turn like a real cave, like an underwater cave. It's really dark on this level and very damp, and the walls are leaking with almond water, which sounds like, yeah, a nice Starbucks alternative for almond milk that they'll overcharge you for, but like I said, you need that hydration. It's got nutritional value. And it tastes pretty good, but you shouldn't get it on this level, because the cave leaks rich, nutrient-dense particles into the almond water, and these types of minerals are not things that humans can consume. So before you get here, try to get some free almond water on level 4 from the vending machines and the water fountains.
That's so nice. Like, you're sharing all this information, so next time when I go there, I know exactly how to get through it.
Exactly. You're welcome. I'm your guide to the Backrooms. Also, there's ponds of almond water. Don't drink it. You'll die. Like, if you wouldn't drink lake water, don't drink almond water from a pond in the Backrooms. Oh, and the cave. Here's the good thing about the cave. Well, good and bad thing. Good thing is that you'll always hear when someone is running towards you or chasing after you because the cave echoes. Bad thing, lots of things will be running towards you in the caves. This is one of the more action-packed levels so far, right? There's a lot of entities there. Then you have level 9. This is probably my scariest level of all. Infinite suburban level. It's midnight. Perpetually midnight on this level. And you're walking around in the most bleak, depressing, suburban, neighborhood. Every house is empty. You are
Really?
alone.
This is worse than the other levels? Are you kidding me?
Bro, suburbia freaks me out.
What?
Suburbia freaks me out. I don't know why.
What?
I think it's because I grew up in suburbia. I'm sure like people grew up in big cities. They're like, I love the peace and I love the countryside, Stephanie. I'm like, bitch. Okay, countryside and suburbia are very different. Like suburbia doesn't freak you out when you like look in the neighborhood.
It's okay, honey.
Everything is so cookie cutter. And then like I just feel like I'm gonna slowly mold into the cookie cutter and I'm gonna be that neighbor that's like, kids, get off my lawn. So each house in the suburban neighborhood, this one is a little bit better because each house is a little bit different. They're all furnished. They've got no power, so it's completely dark inside. And there seems to be endless puddles on this street. Helpful tip, be aware of the foggy mist that can appear because the fog invites entities. But when you look up, it's not the night sky. Again, concrete ceiling. Also, one of the entities are called the skin stealers, so... Then you have level 10, which is infinite wheat fields. It looks like the wheat fields is infinite in size, like the ocean one, but not as scary. You can find almond water around the fields, and it's almost always noon. The sky is always cloudy. It might start raining, but overall it's relatively safe. Entities are very rare on this level, and it's one of the safer levels that you can be on, but just be careful entering one of the houses, because it's said that any of the houses on this level can easily take you to level 7, the infinite ocean level. You just have to be careful. You know, better safe than sorry, right? And those are just the first levels, 10 through 11. There's hundreds more if you guys want me to talk about it, but some of the interesting ones are level 39, the Enchanted Forest, or level 43 is Waterworld, which, yeah, it's like a creepy water park that's been abandoned.
Why do I feel like it's so fun to explore?
And then you have level 112, which is just creepily named Mouths. Why? Well, when you enter the large room, it's filled with extreme fog. It's almost impossible to see more than a foot down or a foot away from you. So you don't even know what you're standing on. But the very few people that have crouched down, they said the floor is made out of a thick carpet of Venus flytraps, or mouths. It's not necessarily dangerous, but just an unsettlingly weird level. Or my biggest fear, level 189, public bathrooms. Just endless room after room of different public restrooms. Some of them are clean, some of them are luxurious, like you would find at a fancy mall, an upscale restaurant, a nice club. Some of them are old restrooms that you would find in the middle of nowhere at a rest stop type restrooms. You're probably safe there, but it's unsettling. The smell of artificial air fresheners, water is heard running when you know nobody else is there. Well, typically nobody else is there. If there's a window in the bathroom, you might think that's your exit, right? No, it's just a screen of light on the other side. But the more bathrooms you travel through your quest to get out, the air becomes more foul, the light becomes dimmer to the point of complete darkness, and the walls become less maintained and grimy, and it looks like nobody has washed it in years. The toilets become filled with unrecognizable waste, and the floor starts getting filled with dirty toilet paper and sewage. Sometimes you'll run into an entity. Most of them won't bother you. They're looking at themselves in the mirror, and they look human, but you know something's off. They're not really human. It looks like they're trying to imitate human behavior and mannerisms inside a mirror. Like, let me know if you guys want more videos on all the weird, insane levels, but those are the backrooms. The backrooms are not real, of course. But
It's not real.
The truth of backrooms is crazier. So backrooms kind of have a no sleep component to them, which is why I told you the backrooms about the way that I told you about them, okay? No sleep rules are generally on Reddit. If you see a story on a no sleep thread or like a backrooms thread where someone is posting as if they are in the backrooms or have been to the backrooms, you are supposed to interact with that post as if it were real. You're supposed to treat it as real. And why do you do that? Because it's so immersive. Like, it's just such a fascinating thing. And it's probably, I think, one of the most comprehensive, in-depth, fictional non-realities that have been added on to by random strangers on the internet. Like a collaborative thing.
Yeah.
So you're like, who came up with such a terrifying concept? I think that it originated on a 4chan paranormal board back in like 2018-ish. I believe it started with a picture that was posted to the unsettling images board, the thread for images that just feel off. So that's like the mono yellow picture. But then it was also featured in the cursed images thread. But regardless, somebody posted those same pictures with like this labeled text. And it was a warning. It says, if you're not careful, you will no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, and you'll end up in the back rooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering nearby, because it sure as hell heard you. And soon that became a meme, and then this whole collaborative fictional universe. There's multiple subreddits for the Backrooms. There's a Backrooms website that has information on the different levels and, how to survive through the levels. It is probably the most immersive of its kind, and technically anyone can contribute or engage with the Backroom stories in any way that you want. Truly, it's like what you want it to be. Also, remember the found footage film? So Kane Parsons, aka Kane Pixels on YouTube, was 16 years old when he directed it.
Oh.
Insane. It's wild. He wanted to explore the interpretation of the original Backrooms thread, and the footage is both live action footage and 3D Blender renderings. I don't even know what that means.
So he's the creator.
Not the creator of the Backrooms.
Right. Of the film.
Yeah. So talented. So talented. A lot of people consider it the scariest video on the internet. It's amazing. Go watch it. But be careful. Because after you watch it and you're like, you know what, I want a snack. And you're running down your stairs and you could easily miss a step and trip and fall in.
And no clip.
And now there you are. In the mono yellow halls. Wondering to yourself, I should have just listened to Stephanie and stayed upstairs. I'm just saying. Be safe, okay? And go watch Hulu. Because... wow, so many good ones on there. And you probably need a cleanse after this one, because this is weird. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!